Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
I woke up this morning and I honestly felt like it was another Monday. It was chilly, it was cloudy, just like yesterday for Monday, and I just didn't want to get out of bed today.
Well, I remembered Friday, so I did the show Friday, and I remembered, okay, like, you know, there might be a little rain left over from overnight, but then it's going to be clear. So I was like waiting and waiting, and finally, like midday, that sun came out and it was gorgeous outside.
Yeah, right around lunchtime, I posted a picture from our Doak Campbell live camera, and you saw that sun starting to peek out, and then finally those clouds really cleared up, and it honestly is a beautiful day outside today.
Especially when the sun came out too, it made it feel a lot warmer outside.
For sure.
The temperature definitely went up once it went out.
Yeah, we saw a chilly start to the morning, and we reached 70 degrees today once that sun came out. So perfect day to do anything outside. Did you do anything outside today, or were you stuck in class?
Okay, so I tried to do some studying outside, but the internet wasn't working. So I had to go up to the Love Building, but it's okay.
You tried. You tried to spend a beautiful day outside. Yeah. But we could see this beautiful dayness end very shortly, as we do have rain chances back in the picture fairly soon, but we'll get into that very shortly.
Maybe one more nice day.
Maybe.
But the weekend does not look promising.
You'll have to watch to find out. And hey, maybe Michael will spill the beans. What do you got for us, Michael?
Hey, Brittany and Sammy. I honestly enjoy this view compared to this time yesterday. It was cloudy, dreary, cool. But as we went to the afternoon today, sun finally came out, warmed up, felt more spring-like compared to yesterday. And that's what our satellite and radar does show. Clear skies over the Big Bend region in South Georgia and Southeast Alabama. And take advantage of this weather for the next 24 to 48 hours before changes do come by the end of the work week. Again, all the sunny and clear skies are behind this low pressure system. Pretty strong right now. It's moving up the East Coast. High pressure is building back behind it, and that's going to give us the tranquil conditions for tomorrow and for most of Thursday before the changes do come Friday with this disturbance out towards the West Coast. So take advantage again of next few days out here in Tallahassee. But for tonight, a little bit chilly outside, 47 degrees, but with those clear skies and calm winds. So honestly, a perfect night to spend some time outdoors if you do have the time. So we're going to have the sunny and dry Wednesday, but the rain will return Thursday afternoon. And that wet pattern will continue for the weekend, but it's not going to be a washout, just more of those intermittent showers and storms that we're expecting out here in our region. But Brittany's going to go a little bit more in depth with our first local forecast.
Thanks, Michael. Waking up this morning, it felt like another Monday with those cloudy and chilly conditions, but just around lunchtime, this was the picture. Sunshine came into our picture, and it was a beautiful day, and it actually allowed us to warm up a lot. Actually, well, but still below average. Our average is 77 degrees, and we only saw a high of 70 today, but our lows are right on spot with those averages just around 50 degrees. And right now across the area, 69 for Tallahassee, still in the 70s in Perry at 71 degrees, and Thomasville sitting at 64 degrees. These are going to drop very quickly as we go into the night with those clear skies. And another thing that's dropping is the dew points. A 45-degree dew point for Tallahassee and 37 for Bainbridge. Since that cold front passed through, it's now allowing more dry air to filter into the area, but it feels nice. We're not feeling any mugginess to the air, so smiles all across the Big Bend for us as far as dew points. And that sunshine, it's feeling very comfortable. Satellite and radar does show that. We do just have a few clouds around in the sky, but mostly sunny skies. And again, that will allow the temperature to drop as we go into the night. But after that cold front pass, this low pressure is actually moving up the East Coast, bringing very windy conditions to parts of just off coast the Carolinas. In fact, they're seeing hurricane force winds out there. But as for us, we're seeing calm winds as this high pressure starts to build in and allow us to bring in those sunnier skies for Wednesday. But that won't last long. You'll see that in our 7-day forecast coming up. For tonight, we'll dip quickly into the 40s in Tallahassee, 46 degrees for Tallahassee, 45 for Monticello, and Apalachicola just breaking down into the lower 50s at 51 degrees for tonight. Could see some clouds passing through the sky for tonight, but mostly clear skies, which will make for a great stargazing night. And tomorrow, a beautiful day to walk your dog, especially if you have a furry friend like Louie here who will enjoy those chillier conditions for the start of your Wednesday morning. But that sun will allow us to warm up very quickly quickly as we head into the lunch hours for Wednesday. We'll be in the mid-60s by then. For the week ahead, we keep the sunnier conditions for Wednesday and dry conditions. We'll reach 76 degrees, drop to that low of 53, but rain chances return back into the picture for Thursday with that 20% chance of rain. And as our next frontal system comes through, that will bring us the bigger rain chances for Friday, a 70% chance of rain with a high of 79. Notice as we were below average, we're going to move towards average temperatures and then even above average temperatures as we head into the weekend. And rain chances will stick around, but those 80s are also going to stick around. Morning lows will start to taper off into the 60s as we head into the weekend. For the look at the southeast, here's Sammy.
Well, thank you, Brittany. So it was a beautiful day here in Florida and pretty much all across the southeast, parts showing partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, looking at temperatures around 70 degrees over in Montgomery, Alabama, 66 in Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, it is quite beautiful throughout the entire southeast right now. We even have less clouds than Tampa right now, even though they might be a little bit warmer. We got that advantage here in the Sunshine State. Our dew points are very dry, looking in the 30s over in Jackson, Shreveport 33. These are very low, and that's due to after that cold front. You can really see where that's situated, the green versus the brown. That's that big difference between where that cold front is still extending off into the southern part of Florida. Looking at the satellite and radar, we do have this high pressure system situated over us right now that is following that front that just passed through our area earlier this morning. And our next big rainmaker is due to this low that will start to move through throughout the week. Now, looking at our satellite and radar, near North Carolina, you could even see a little bit of that swirl, lots of lightning, lots of rain within that area, maybe even a little bit of pink you could see in that area. Now those are high winds and lots of rain. So here in Florida though, we are fairly dry. I mean, near southern Florida, they did get a little bit of rain, maybe a thunderstorm this afternoon, but that has since cleared out of the area. But within the next 24 hours, expect a little bit of cloud coverage in southern half of Florida. Other than that, we are fairly clear throughout the entire southeast, making a beautiful day for tomorrow. But soon after, we do have these thunderstorms starting to make its way through the area. Now, Louisiana is only in that thunderstorm risk area. But as you go further west, I mean, even into the tip of Texas, they're in that slight storm outlook. Now, they do have chances of severe thunderstorms for tomorrow, and that extends into Louisiana by Thursday. I mean, this is a large portion that is in that slight risk. So if you are in that area, expect to get a severe thunderstorm or two, especially in the afternoon hours. We start to extend through Tallahassee with that thunderstorm look for Thursday. That's when our real big threat of rain actually comes in. But for tonight's forecast, expect temperatures in the 40s for Tallahassee, Montgomery low 40s, 43. It is beautiful within the southeast area. Looking towards New Orleans, Jackson, they do have a little bit more cloud coverage than we do here in Tallahassee and into Atlanta area. But as far as tomorrow's forecast, expect similar conditions like today, but maybe a little bit warmer. Looking at 76 for Tallahassee and extending through Montgomery, Atlanta, 73 degrees. It's going to be beautiful out for tomorrow. But this is going to be your last nice day until Thursday. But now Michael and Brittany are going to give us a look at the desk.
Thanks, Sammy. Now we want to touch base back on that low pressure system that's currently located off the coast of the Carolinas. Actually brought snow early into parts of the Carolinas, but it's expected to bring some other things along with it.
Yeah, you saw how strong it was on Sammy's southeast on that satellite and radar. Very strong center of low pressure off the coast, and with that you're getting high surf and some dangerous seas out there. Heavy rain coastal rain especially, and some strong winds along the coast.
Yeah, it is expected to strengthen, especially as we go into tomorrow for Wednesday, but luckily it is expected to stay off the coast as far as its track, so it won't bring too significant of impacts, but major impacts will include that wind offshore especially.
Yeah, given how far it is offshore, the cold air is not matching up with the moisture, so we're not expecting really any snow for the Northeast, unlike the Carolinas expected this morning. Colby and I will get into that in our next desk, but it's mainly going to be coastal rain and wind.
Yes, the wind especially. There was actually hurricane force wind warnings put out offshore though, but extending from the Carolinas all the way up to the Northeast because of how strong these winds are.
Yeah, and you'll notice as we go into tomorrow, the impacts will be more towards the New York area and mid-Atlantic, and then especially up to New England as we go into tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. So mainly the coastal regions are going to get the brunt of these impacts, thankfully, from the system.
Yeah, and hopefully there's no cruise ships out there because they're expecting wave heights to get anywhere from 16 to 30 feet with these hurricane force winds out there. So hopefully they took that as a warning and shifted travel paths.
Yeah, but for now, we're going to go out to the wall with Colby to talk about our national forecast.
Well, thanks, guys. And really, across the country, we're starting to have that tranquil pattern as the area of high pressure starts to dominate the nation's midsection. On the coast, though, it's really active right now. I'll go into that a little bit later in a second. 54 right now in Kansas City. Very mild into Dallas, low 70s there. 71 down in San Antonio. Starting to have some cooler air trying to come back out into the Rocky Mountain West, but really 53, that's pretty mild even for April. Very kind of warmer temperatures there, but cold air trying to get through there in the Rocky Mountains. But really something, though, most of the country is getting in on, and that's those dry dew point values. Really dry air across the desert Southwest. The only real areas that are dealing with a lot of moisture content is far south Texas, and of course there the peninsula of Florida. And the the water vapor at the mid levels and the upper levels, a lot of dry air coming back into the desert Southwest. We're starting to have into the Rocky Mountain region some moisture there, especially south of Denver there in Colorado. And then the interesting feature there is that area of low pressure sitting right off the coast there. And really look at the dry air coming back into the southwestern sides of that feature there. Across this midsection, though, very quiet. And then the storm system we'll have to watch in the Pacific Northwest there. Still out over the Pacific for now, and then really the story is this area of low pressure, very strong area of low pressure into the mid-Atlantic states. It's currently right off the Carolina coast. Zooming into that, we've had some shower and thunderstorm activity from Charlotte back to Raleigh. Even this morning we had some snow there in Charlotte. We'll talk about that in a second on the desk. I'll talk with Michael about that. A lot of this rain, though, is starting to head offshore. And look at that spin. You can really see that counterclockwise spin as this heads back off to the north and to the east. But what it's bringing is all of this threat for gale warnings. So what we're watching about there is really strong winds and waves, especially as we start to go out into international waters 10 to 20 miles off the coast there. And really dangerous there. But even back behind us, we're starting to have the clearing, the frost advisory across North Carolina and South Carolina. So definitely want to cover those plants there. A lot of budding out happened, and probably some plants died this morning as we did have the freeze, and also we had some snow in those locations. So winter completely not over, even though as we're getting into April, especially with that strong area of low pressure. Across Wisconsin and then into up northern Minnesota, we start to have some snow coming back in. That's changing over to rain as we go into Wisconsin. And then out into the Pacific Northwest, there's that next weather maker there right off the coast there of Oregon. And you start to notice that swirl. It's producing some showers and storms, especially across northern California and into Oregon and even into Nevada. Now for the storm outlook for tomorrow, very slight risk, a very pronounced slight risk. That's a level 2 out of 5 there from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll have to look out for some tornadoes and possible hail is a main concern there, but we really can't rule out a possible tornado, though, spin up in that area, and then large area there of marginal into the Sooner State. But here's what we got to watch out around Tallahassee. We notice that slight risk starts to push off to the into the deep south, places like Arkansas, Louisiana, and even into the Magnolia State there in Mississippi. We'll have to watch that as it goes into Thursday, and then even into Friday, we'll have to watch that day 3 risk, because then we'll be talking about ramifications here in the capital city. Tonight's forecast, 30s peaking in there at Denver, 44 there in Salt Lake City, 45 down I-25 there in Albuquerque. And notice that temperature in Albuquerque almost matching the temperature in Tallahassee, 46. So really the bottom falling out of these temperatures as we have those clear conditions across the nation's midsection, really contributing with those clear skies. We really lose all that daytime heating. And then tomorrow we're back into the 60s for Dallas, 66 there, 64 in Albuquerque, 55 there in Salt Lake City, 56 over in Denver. So we start to really have those mild conditions, 70s back into Georgia and even into Florida. But now I'm going to hand things over to Sammy. We're going to take a look at our next local forecast.
Thank you, Colby. So we are beautifully and sunny right now in Tallahassee. That sunset is going to be around 7:50 p.m. if I'm right. We'll take a look at that soon though. 69 degrees out right now. It is mostly sunny. We hit a high of 70s in the low 70s this afternoon, but we are still at that 69-degree range. Perry's still in the 70s, 71 degrees. They do have a little bit more cloud coverage than we do. Quincy, beautiful, 68 degrees right now. Our wind speed and direction, we just have a light winds coming from the northwest right now. So it is just a little bit breezy outside, but we are pretty clear within our radar. To the north of us into Georgia, you can see they do have a little bit of cloud coverage that has since passed through the area. We did have some clouds earlier this morning, but that has gone through our area and we are sunny up until Thursday. When this front finally starts to form, it'll make its way through our area. This high will come out of our area and we'll get rain pretty much all weekend. For tonight though, we have this stargazing forecast. Okay, close to what I said, 7:57 p.m. for that sunset. Sunrise at 7:26 a.m. It will be chilly in the morning though, 47 degrees. So make sure you have a jacket on for tomorrow, but it will start to warm up throughout the day. So make sure you are wearing layers underneath for tomorrow. Viewing conditions for the stars tonight, it is going to be excellent outside, clear skies. For the next 24 hours, we are expecting it to be very clear outside. The winds start to shift coming from the east. So expect it to be beautiful for tomorrow, looking at that 76-degree mark, 77 for Thursday, and that's when that real chance of rain starts to come back through our area. But by Friday, it's going to be 70% chance of rain and 79 degrees. So it's going to be muggy outside and pretty muggy throughout the weekend too. 83, 84 for Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. By Monday and Tuesday, those rain chances just don't go away. We're sticking in the 80s though, a little bit above average actually. But for right now, we are sticking right about at average for Wednesday. But now Michael and Colby are going to give us a look at the desk.
Thanks, Sammy. So that coastal low we've been tracking for the entire show, bringing rain right now to coastal Virginia and still parts of coastal North Carolina, brought I can't believe I'm saying this. Snow to parts of the Carolinas.
Wait, that's not a late April Fool's joke, is it? Are you sure? Snow?
We are serious. It did bring snow to parts of the inland locations of South Carolina and North Carolina, places like Charlotte.
Wow, so even into April, that was when was the last time they had some snow there?
So Charlotte got its first measurable snow, 0.01 inches. The first time they've had measurable snow in April since 1915, so more than 100 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm sure glad we haven't been dealing with any snow here, though.
Yeah, if we take a look at the storm reports up here, you'll see all the snow reports from South Carolina and the Greensville, Spartanburg area, Clemson, going up towards Charlotte, Winston-Salem. You'll start to notice those snow reports.
Now, were they about a half inch to an inch, or what were most of the reports there totaling?
Most of the reports just around an inch. The highest report was 1.4 inches out towards Wingate, North Carolina, which is in the Charlotte area.
Okay, were we able to get any of the kids out of school, or was it not enough? Quite not enough?
I think it brought some problems for the morning commute for sure. You can see all the snow reports again down towards Clemson, South Carolina. There were some snow reports. A majority in the Charlotte area, and then all the way up towards Winston-Salem and Greensboro. And if we take a look at one of this picture in North Carolina, snow and pollen.
So the yellow there's the pollen, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, look at that. So it's like draining there into that roadway. That's incredible.
I've never seen anything like that before.
I don't think I have seen that. Both pollen and snow both present there in that photography there in North Carolina. That's just incredible. And
absolutely
wow.
amazing in my opinion. That's how weather can just amaze us sometimes.
Tell you, it's just incredible sometimes the different contrasts of the seasons that we see just in one day. So now we're going to actually you're going to take things over to Florida, right? Show us a little tour around Florida?
Oh yeah, exactly. And one more thing about the Carolinas, funniest thing about them, tomorrow they'll be in the 60s. So talk about some weather whiplash in the Carolinas, but we're going to take a look at what's happening in the Sunshine State of Florida. And if you're in the Panhandle right now, yes, you are in the sunshine. 70 degrees in Pensacola, mostly sunny skies in Tallahassee with 69 degrees. You notice how the more warmer and humid air is still down towards South Florida, especially in Southwest Florida with 78 in Fort Myers. But a lot of us, the sun is actually coming out. Most of that cold front has passed through the entire state. The drier air will eventually get towards the southern part of the state as we go into the overnight hours. You notice the winds starting to become that northerly, northwesterly direction. So that's going to bring in the drier air from the north for all those places down towards South Florida. And it's a little bit breezy down there with 12 miles per hour in Miami and 10 in Fort Myers. And our dew points also show there's still some lingering humidity out towards south of the I-4 corridor, really. So 63 in Fort Myers, 68 still in West Palm Beach. But you notice the drier air up towards the Panhandle of Florida with 40 in Pensacola and 45 in Tallahassee. So eventually that dry air is going to filter its way down towards South Florida, and everyone will be able to enjoy some less humid conditions for at least the next 24 hours. And that's what our muggy meter shows. If you're basically north of I-4, not that bad outside, pretty nice and dry in terms of your dew points out there. But once you go south of the I-4 corridor, you got the meh emoji in Fort Myers, and then the whoa emoji still down towards West Palm Beach and Miami. But again, that drier air should eventually make it down there as we go into tonight and especially into tomorrow. Satellite and radar shows you that that cold front is bringing the dry air behind that low pressure system, that very strong coastal low sitting off the Carolinas right now. And that high pressure is going to move in, bringing that dry air. But then, once it moves off the coastline as we go into later in the week, that will increase the moisture ahead of this next storm system, which will bring the thunderstorms back to Florida as we head, especially later in the work week and into the weekend. But for now, just those coastal thunderstorms moving off the coastline in South Florida and into the Bahamas. Had some pretty hefty thunderstorms out towards Fort Lauderdale earlier this afternoon. Luckily, things are clearing out as we go into the overnight hours. Now, the other story we have to worry about is the drought. We've had some fire danger up towards the Panhandle of Florida. Been a pretty dry 2019, honestly, for a lot of the northern part of the state. We did have some hefty rain down towards South Florida, but eventually we should be getting into that weather pattern as we go into the summer months, so the drought should improve into the next few months. Finally, tomorrow's forecast show you how we actually go back to where we should be for this time of year in terms of our temperatures, with a mix of sun and clouds for a lot of the state. Temperatures in the 70s for the north and 80s for the south part of the state. Now, let's send it up to Colby with our final local forecast.
Hey, thanks, Michael. And looking at that weather stem, we got full sun right there over Doak Campbell Stadium. I like to see that because I know yesterday we were actually sucked in. We saw a lot of cloud cover across the area. And for that almanac, I know yesterday we only hit 55 degrees. It was actually the lowest high temperature that we've ever seen on that day. So we did reach 70 today, so a really nice transition. We had the sunshine across the area. I'll definitely trade that instead of all that icky, sticky, just really nasty, sucked-in conditions. I like to see those full suns there. 69 in Tallahassee, 68 up in Quincy, 70 down on the coast there in Apalachicola. A little bit cooler where they haven't had as much sunshine for as long as time there in Thomasville and Valdosta. They're sitting in the mid-60s there. But across the area, we're really starting to see clearing. Even we're struggling to see any clouds. You have to really go up into portions of middle Georgia to see that. A few showers there off to the west of Spence, but really across the area, abundant sunshine, and we'll really take that since we had those couple days that were very unfortunate with the cloud cover and the rain there. High pressure, that's what's giving it to us. That cold front come through, had those showers associated with yesterday, really cleaned things out as far as that those clouds, and now we're really seeing that full sun there. Really, again, the coast, there's that area of low pressure that's there sitting off the eastern seaboard. And for tonight, definitely, as they were saying earlier, stargazing going to be great tonight. No chance of a shower, no chance of even clouds tonight. We'll be down in the 47 there for tonight, so definitely keep the coat handy. The winds will be very light, contributing to that really low temperature. As you plan out your day for tomorrow, if you're heading out to class, definitely bring the hoodie. It's going to be another layer up day. So when a layer up in the morning, we'll see the upper 40s there, but things will be really warming up quickly as you get to that noontime hour, almost 70 there by noon, and then into the mid 70s as you start to wrap up your day there by 4 p.m. And as you start to plan that week ahead, really I want to stress that tomorrow will be that day that you'll want to focus on maybe heading out to the car wash, as we'll be in the mid 70s, and then we start to have those, unfortunately, we start to have those chances of showers start to creep back in there. You see the upper 70s for Thursday and Friday, but start to notice those showers and storms start to creep back in the picture, and then we start to even see some 80s as we go into next week. But really, it's going to be interesting there as well to really, I thought we were going to sneak in some nice temperatures for the week. Well, we got the nice temperatures for the weekend, but we noticed those rain chances are abundant, especially in the next week. So, you know, sometimes you just have to give and take. It could be 55, but it's not. You know, we saw the 55 yesterday, so if we get in the 70s, it'll be a good trade-off. I guess we need to study anyways, right, Sammy? So we need to study.
Exactly. So, and you know, now that it's April showers bring May
flowers.
flowers.
There we go.
So that might be more of a up north thing. I think we're already getting flowers here in Tallahassee. I need to start planting. I have aloe plants. I need to get out there and start planting them.
Yeah, and so that's great to see the rainfall there. And there's another look at that 7 days. So if you're gonna, you know, tomorrow will be that day you want to try to get those activities done tomorrow, right? With that full sun there on Wednesday. And then
exactly. If you have a garden, I mean, try to get out there Wednesday, maybe Thursday morning. We're no longer in the 30s for our morning temperatures, so you don't have to worry about freeze warnings.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with any of that that they're seeing there in North Carolina. I don't even talk about an inch of snow. That'll shut us down here, so we don't want to talk about that.
The Midwest, I saw that they were totally covered in snow.
Oh, goodness.
In Ohio, actually.
Oh, wow.
So,
a little more prepared,
crazy.
though, than us, but I know that now we're in April, though. We don't want to deal with that. I like to see those 80s back on the high temperatures there, even if we're starting to deal with some showers. I know we'll get into that sea breeze pattern as we start to get into May and June.
Yes.
But hey, definitely some nice weather there.
Yep.
And those lows there in the 60s. So.
Yeah, I mean, the temperatures are going to be there. They're going to be in the 80s, but it's going to make it feel very muggy outside with all the rain that we're expected to get. Friday, 70% chance of rain. I mean,
so you definitely want to keep the hairspray available, right? Definitely the hairspray with the frizz.
Just throw my hair up.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, definitely.
Don't need hairspray for the weekend, that is. I mean,
definitely.
Stuck indoors, it'll be a good time to get your studying done.
Yeah, get those finals knocked out. But hey, follow us on social media. We're there at FSU Weather / on Twitter, and also like us on Facebook there at www.facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And watch us live on YouTube Monday through Friday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, and send us those pictures there, Instagram at FSU Weather. We like to see those sunsets and all the good weather we're going to start to deal with as we start to get into we're getting into spring now. So
we are getting into spring. I mean, there's bigger chances for having that severe weather.
Yeah, so hey, we'll be back here tomorrow at 6:01. Join us. I'm student meteorologist Colby Pope.
And I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires. Have a great night.
Thank you.